Wonderful. Good morning, everybody. So I have selected 3 songs to do for the order of service, and I need some help. So I'm hoping that I can call on you. I will. Whoa! Hello, there it is. I will do this first one here and kind of teach you the words to it. And it goes. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, their paws, and anything they got now. Let's see if we can do that. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, their paws, anything they got now. All right. Listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom, where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do, and the old cow just goes moo. The dogs and the cats, they take up the middle, where the honeybees hum and the crickets fiddle. The donkey brays and the pony neighs. The old badger, he just sighs. Here we go. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, their paws, and anything they got now. Listen to the top where the little birds sing, and the melodies and the high notes swing, and the hoot owl cries over everything, and the blackbird just disagrees. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day, the little duck quacks and he's on his way. The otter ain't got much to say, and the porcupine, he just talks to himself. Here we go. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, their paws, and anything they got now. It's a simple song, living everywhere. And the ox and the fox and the grizzly bear, and the grumpy alligator and the hog above, and the sly old weasel and the turtle dove. Here we go. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands, their paws, and anything they got now. One more time. All God's creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing high, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Just clap their hands, their paws, anything they got now. Thank you.
Good morning. Oh, good. Come, come, whoever you are welcome here. No matter your age, your size, the color of your eyes, your hair, your skin, you are welcome here. No matter your gender, whom you love, how you speak, or whatever your abilities, you are welcome here. You are welcome here whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears in your eyes. you are welcome here. No matter what you have experienced in the past, no matter what awaits you in the future, you are welcome here. Whether you believe in God all of the time, some of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. This is a community of open minds, loving hearts, and willing hands. As we gather this morning, let us pause and acknowledge that the ground upon which we gather is the ancestral and current homelands of the Shoshone, Paiute, Goshute, and Ute tribes. With humility for the ways in which we have unwittingly participated in the harms perpetuated in the past and present, we seek now to learn a new way forward. We begin to partner, to ally and witness with our Indigenous siblings and friends, the bringing forth of a new sacred dream of a community restored and a world healed to greater wholeness. Good morning. I am Caitlin Collins, and my pronouns are she and her. We've got a great team going this morning. David is providing our music today. Cinnamon's in our sound booth so you can hear me. Brenda's helping with our virtual congregation at home, and Rob is helping with our Time for All Ages this morning. It takes a team to do this, so we appreciate everybody who's helping out this morning. We would also like to especially welcome anybody who's here for the first time. We're excited you found us, and we're glad you're here, whether you're here in person or watching from home. We'd love to get to know you better. The best way to stay connected is our Happenings Weekly newsletter. You can subscribe by email, and then you will know everything. Now we are going to light our chalice. So now that you've all sat down, if you are willing to stand in body, mind, or spirit, for our chalice lighting. Our words are in our order of service, and you can say them and do our actions with me. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, for the light of truth, and for the energy of action.
And I'd like to invite up all of our young people and young at heart for a story this morning about someone who writes stories, really mostly poetry, and maybe we'll try gathering up kind of in this area. There's really only one picture as part of the story, but I thought it'd be nice if as many people as possible could see it. Welcome. Good to see you all. Yeah, I think we'll have enough room. Yeah. Is it okay if I stand up this time? Is that okay? I don't like to feel like I'm standing up over people, but if that's okay for just today, so I can make sure people see this one really awesome picture. So this is a person who passed away a couple of years ago, but throughout her lifetime wrote some really beautiful things, mostly around the things that she could see around her in nature. And the things in the natural world really inspired this person to write poetry. And so this is a story about this woman, Mary Oliver. You probably will hear Mary Oliver a lot in our time here on Sunday mornings. She writes a lot of poetry that we bring into our rituals here. So on a warm summer day in Provincetown, Massachusetts, Mary Oliver sits on the grass with a half-eaten slice of birthday cake on a plate next to her. She is at a birthday party for a friend and is taking a moment to do something she calls listening deeply for the world. Listening deeply for the world. You see, Mary is a poet. She pays close attention to the world around her. She always carries a notebook and she jots down notes about what she notices around her. She pays close attention to people, animals, trees, waves, sand, wind, and her own heartbeat. Her poems connect what she sees in the world around her to kind of bigger questions that all humans ask about what it means to live a good life. Today, Mary notices a grasshopper fling herself onto the plate with the half-eaten birthday cake. Mary hears the faint whirring sound of the grasshopper's wings as she explores the desert. The grasshopper gets even closer, drawn by the sweet smell of the dessert. Soon she eats a little icing from the cake off of Mary's finger. Mary notices that the grasshopper's little jaws move side to side instead of up and down. Have any of you ever noticed that? Did you know that? She notices how the grasshopper lifts her light green forearm and washes her face, cleaning off the sugary bits. Mary stays perfectly still as the grasshopper opens her wings and floats away. Mary quickly scribbles some notes about what she has just seen. She is completely absorbed thinking about the grasshopper and misses part of the birthday party. But this noticing things around her is Mary's calling. A calling is what she is meant to do. Notice things around her. She knows she has to pay close attention to what she sees. Not everything she notices becomes a poem right away. And sometimes the finished poems might not be very good, but she writes them anyway because she knows that it's how she takes care of that voice inside of her that makes her want to write poetry. Sometimes the poems that come from her notes are so beautiful that people all over the world feel like they've been right there with her, noticing the grasshopper eating the sugar off her finger on a warm summer day. When Mary asks the readers of the poem what they are going to do with their one wild and precious life, they feel something wonderful rise up inside of their own bodies. That's the magic that happens when we read a poem or a story that speaks to us. We feel like we're right there too, asking ourselves the same questions. That particular poem that Mary wrote watching that grasshopper is called The Summer Day, and it's one of Mary Oliver's most famous poems. People all over the world love it, and they credit this poem with helping them throughout their life. It goes like this. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around her, enormous and complicated eyes to help her. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention. I do know how to fall down into the grass and how to kneel down into the grass, how to be still and be blessed, how to stroll through the grass, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything last only too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Mary sometimes said that poetry even saved her life. Mary had a very difficult childhood in a small town in Ohio, and she began taking long walks in the woods. She would put a poetry book in her backpack and head out for the day. She loved moving, always moving, and she began walking and reading other poets. Mary's poems would often touch on spiritual topics like God or prayer, even though Mary rarely talked much about churches or official beliefs or things people often associate with religion. She became an unconventional spiritual teacher for many people because of what she wrote about the big questions that a lot of us think about. Until she passed away in 2019, Mary came back to these questions often in her poems as she observed the infinite cycles of life in the natural world that she loved so much. She said that life is an endless, unanswerable quest, but I find it fascinating. So this is what Mary, even though she has passed away, she's asked us some questions for us to think about right now. And so if you're comfortable, close your eyes and take a moment with your eyes closed to notice something, anything. Maybe it's a sound, maybe it's a smell. Take a moment to notice something. What details do you notice when you really focus your attention? Maybe you'll write a poem about it. All right. We are going to use the very last few opportunities we have for nice weather to spend out on our playground, and I also have an opportunity for an activity. Those of you who weren't with us in the last couple of weeks, we have something for you to do out there too. All right? Come downstairs. We're going to go out this way.
Thank you, ushers. And for those of you at home, there's a giving link. And for those of you that didn't bring anything this morning, there's also a giving link in your order of service. And David will bless us with his music.
Thank you. All right, so I've got another one here that could definitely use your help. This one's a little bit simpler. So it's only got one line, all right? And that one line is, hi, 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 am everyday people. Yeah? All right. Sometimes I'm right, I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song. The butcher, the baker, the drummer, and then makes no difference what group I'm in. Here we go. I am everyday people. Yeah. There is a blue one who can't accept the green one, living with a fat one, trying to be a skinny one. Different strokes or different folks, so on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Shana, we got to live together. I am no better and neither are you. We are the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then can't figure out what the bag I'm in. Here we go. I love everyday people. Yeah. There is a long hair that doesn't like a short hair. Being such a rich one, can I help the poor one? Different strokes or different folks, so on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Shana, we got to live together. There is a yellow one who won't accept the black one, won't accept the red one, won't accept the white one. Different strokes for different folks, so on and so on, and Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Here we go. I am everyday people. Thanks.
Thank you, Melissa. Yep. For all we have received and all we have found the courage to give, we may be truly thankful. May these gifts be a blessing to South Valley and to the Great Salt Lake Institute. Today, we are talking about learning. I figured it's back to school for so many folks, both the students and the teachers. So that's kind of where this sprang out of. And I have a reading for you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a teacher, I'm a preschool teacher. And the reading I have for you today is Lessons of Another Kind, and it's by Leslie Owen Wilson. And it goes like this. I came to teach, to see what I could find inside my students' deeper minds. I came to try and open minds before they were seamed shut. I came to channel passages, hoping to connect hearts to heads and hands. I came to entreat, to coax ennobled thoughts, ideals, and love of self and others. I thought that this must come from inside out, into the essence of their beings, into relationships, as connections to words and deeds and pedagogic styles. I came to probe and sometimes poke, to make them think and laugh at small and narrowed views. For I wanted them to see with their own eyes beyond the limitations of closed perceptions into the beauty and pain of others' views. I came to teach, but learned instead that they had just as much to say to me. Their lessons are often raw, sometimes unformed, and yet complex. I came to give, and yet was given. For through their gifts, I saw anew that I must learn to guard against complacency, conclusions, and the allure of too soon ends. I came to grow, unknowingly, to shed my false new scholar skin and metamorphose into something new and strange. Something far beyond the shadows of my old instructive self. I came to teach, but was changed in other ways, and now remember that life is still a two-way street. These were lessons I needed to commit to memory again. Perhaps it is enough to say, I came to teach, but learned instead. I find that is very true every year when I step into my classroom in the fall. I have all of these ideas of things I'm going to teach and what I want my students to learn, and then I end up learning things whether I meant to or not. And I think that's part of the beauty of this one wild and precious life, is we're all always learning whether we mean to or not. And I thought today we could maybe share. So this is your warning. I'm going to invite you up here to a microphone to share in just a minute. And as somebody that doesn't like when that gets sprung on me, I understand. So I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. I'm going to share with you what I'm excited to learn in this next season. And for me, this next season is the fall. But for you, it could be the next week or the next year. And maybe it's something you're formally working on if you're back to school, or if you're working on some kind of certification, or maybe it's something informal that you've always just sort of wondered about and you find yourself Googling it a little bit more often than maybe other things you Google. And then I'm going to ask you to come up and share what you're excited to be learning. And I am sure there's somebody here that's going, I don't know. I don't have anything I'm learning right now. I don't know what I'm interested in. That's okay. Because maybe today you will hear something that inspires you. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. And then maybe even if that's not what you tried to learn next or want to discover next, it'll spark something. So I thought today we could build this together as a community of learners and seekers. And like I said, I'm going to go first. So what I'm excited to be learning is I have been teaching at my preschool an afternoon yoga enrichment class, and it's been fantastic. And I am finally working on my very own yoga teacher certification program. And it took a long time to get here, and I've been just Googling things and like Pinterest, how do I teach kids this pose? And I'm so excited to actually be getting that formal training now. And I'm loving every minute of it, even though back to school was a really bad time to do this class. And I can't wait to share it with my students, and then can't wait to see what they teach me in that space. And that's it. Look, short, easy. So we are going to take just a moment. So I would like you to ground yourself. Put your feet flat on the floor. If you want to notice things about the space, or if you want to close your eyes, whatever makes you feel at home with yourself. And I want you to think, what am I excited to learn next? And it can be anything. There are no wrong answers. Take a big breath in. Let it all the way out. And open your eyes. I am going to turn this on and invite you, as you feel moved, to come up and just share a really short 2-3 sentences, couple minutes, about what you are excited to learn, and hopefully that will inspire. And for those of you in our virtual congregation, I invite you to share what you're excited to learn in the chat box so that you can share with each other. So as you feel moved, come on up.
I'll go first, since you guys are probably still thinking. I'm excited to learn the things I don't know I need to learn. And I want to share a story with you to help explain this one. I had a friend visit this summer. He's one of my programmers when I used to run a software company. And we were doing the dishes together. And usually I'm kind of the one teaching him things. When we were doing the dishes, we had made fondue, because he's from Switzerland. And the pans were disgusting, so you can imagine. And I was scrubbing out the pan in the sink, and he looked at me and he said, "Why do you do this? Just put it in the dishwasher." And I said, "Well, it won't get clean in the dishwasher." And he said, "Doesn't your dishwasher have a high temperature setting?" And I looked at my recently purchased dishwasher, which I'd only ever pressed normal on because I grew up with a dishwasher with one setting. And sure enough, there was a high temperature setting on the dishwasher. So we put the pan in the dishwasher. And I said, "You use this setting?" He's like, "Oh, this is all I use. I just use the high temperature setting. You don't have to scrub any of the dishes if you use this." So we put it in, high temperature setting. Sure enough, dishes completely clean. So now after every potluck we have, all the dishes just go straight to the dishwasher, and we use the high temperature setting. So I tell you this story because there are all sorts of things in your life you don't know you need to learn. But the only way to learn them is to do the task with somebody else. So they tell you, like, "Hey, why don't you use this feature?" So open up your eyes to the things around you you've never actually tried. Look at all the buttons and all the gizmos, on your microwave, on everything you use. See if there's something useful there.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rachel Kimball, and I work at a wholesale flower company, and my family's probably heard me talk about this a million times, but I'm in sales right now, but I'm about to move over to processing, which is just receiving the shipments, and I'm very excited to learn more about the industry and further my education. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I love learning. I just, when I'm getting stale in my life, I like to explore new things always. But one thing I've done since I've moved to Utah is I've been volunteering at an equine therapy center out in Highland, and I've been able to learn how to groom and tack horses and lead walk, and then help special needs riders as they're on the horses, follow the instructions or learn how to handle the horse. And, they offer classes every once in a while where for the volunteers, if you want to learn like the next level up, you can go. And so I've learned how to be able to have a horse back up just by waving my finger. It'll back up and it'll come back to me if I smile at it, and I can get to go in a circle around me. It's very peaceful and very relaxing. And so I just love looking for opportunities in my life where things are presented.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I worked at a girls' camp when I was 19, and I always wanted to learn to play the guitar, and I took like lessons in college one quarter and rented a guitar, but then I never followed through with it. I kind of started learning. That was like 30 years ago. So a couple years ago, I mentioned to my husband I wouldn't mind having a guitar and learning again. So he got me a nice guitar for Christmas, and then have I gotten around to learning it? No. So yesterday, he told me that he's signed me up for online guitar lessons for me and his daughters, who also have guitars that they never play. And so we are now going to go into this adventure. So I'm saying it now to make it true, right? Yep. Okay.
I'm Kate McGillivray. Pronouns are she and her. I'm making a pledge to myself to learn more about what we do here at this church. So I've been here for about 5 years now, and it's beginning to become apparent to me that I need to dive in a little deeper. And so I have joined the worship team, and I've been going to meetings of the humanist group so I can do more reading and discussion, and to find the things that bring me meaning in my life, as the poem talked about. What else should I do with my one wild life? But also to find out what might be good for you, what brings all these good, meaningful, deep, meaningful things to you, and to be a part of that group. So this is a big dive, and I'm happy to do it.
So my name is Sherry, and I have been around here for a very long time. So I recognize a lot of new faces, and it makes me so happy. And one of the things that you said during your reading that I actually wrote down is, I came to teach, but I learned instead. One of the ways that I like to learn is from the small groups that gather together here at South Valley. And we have one called Starting Point that will be coming up in October. It's just 3 short Sundays. The schedule isn't confirmed yet, but it's going to happen. But what we do is we come together and we share our stories and we learn from one another. And it's the best thing ever. So you will see me after we're finished here at the back with my clipboard. And I would be so excited if anyone is interested in learning from one another, learning here at South Valley. Kind of what goes on, Kate, that's part of what we do, is we learn more about South Valley and all the wonderful things that we have going on and all of the wonderful people that come here. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Cinnamon, and I am trying to learn a lot of things right now. I recently made a change in my career where I'm still in the field, but I'm doing more administrative work. And one of the reasons why I wanted to make that change was to have more space in my mental and emotional life and energy to dedicate to having kind of a fuller life. So I have been doing things like taking ceramic classes, which have been a lot of fun. There's a studio nearby here. I have been focusing on my health and making changes in that area. And I'm also a member of our board, and that provides a lot of opportunity to learn about what I don't know. And, I'm excited for this year at South Valley as we continue to grow in, areas like our, BIPOC awareness, and then also we're developing a strategic plan. And so I'm that has a lot of questions more than answers. And so I'm trying to keep my life open to learn these new things, which has been great.
So I started a new job 3 weeks ago, and it's in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and I'm going to be fine-tuning my own ChatGPT model, and I'm super excited about it.
I have a new obsession with crocheting, so I'm very excited to learn more patterns and more things to make. So
Awesome.
I'm up here mostly for me because this is like committing to this learning. I am learning how to let my daughter express and feel anger. This is hard for me. It's not an emotion that I have a healthy relationship with. And so it's like really big moments of, oh, you're angry and I hate that and I don't want you to have that emotion. And I have more of my own work to do here than you do. And so this is my commitment to myself in front of all of you that I am going to learn how to do this. Anger is healthy. I want her to know that. I want to learn that myself. So we're on this learning journey together.
Did everybody who wanted to share get a chance? Okay. And if this is a little bit too intimidating for you, but you thought of something, I would encourage you to share it with somebody afterwards. And it doesn't have to be somebody in this space. It can be your best friend outside of here. Call somebody you love and let them know. And several people brought this up as a commitment, and I think that's a healthy way to look at learning. It's a commitment to ourselves to be the best that we want to be and to move in directions that feel good to us. And to all of you that shared in the space and all of you that shared in the chat on our virtual, thank you for inspiring other people. Because we're all on this learning journey together, even if we've wandered onto different paths for a little while. I think that's the amazing part of this journey is we can wander off and learn about dishwashers, which I didn't know, so thank you. And then come back and share. And that, for me as a teacher, is the fun part, is the coming back and sharing and having a student say something like the dishwasher comment, although they don't do dishes. And I'm just like, oh, wow, right, let me go try that. And so my hope for you today is that you heard something that sparked that in you. And like I said, if you don't want to share in this space, I would encourage you to share outside of the space or in fellowship time afterwards, in whatever way you are comfortable. Let's see what we're up to next. Okay. We are going to extinguish our chalice now. If you would stand as you are willing in body, mind, or spirit. And your chalice extinguishing words should be in your order of service. And we will say them together. We extinguish this chalice, but not and we hold each other in our hearts until we meet again. If you would, my benediction for you today is go and learn and enjoy. If you would be seated for our postlude.
I think everybody knows this one.
peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean, my soul. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean in my soul. Thank you, everybody.